Hello everybody, it's Obley here, and today I'm bringing you one tip for each of the bosses in the new raid Liberation of Undermine to improve your DPS as an unholy DK. Let's hop right in with number 1. On Vexy, it's quite often that the bikes will die quite quickly. This means I wouldn't really reapply dots onto them unless they're going to live the full duration of the dot, but I would position myself in a place where my death coils will cleave, and especially the execute death coils because they do so much damage. If you're on Mythic Vexy, then I would definitely dot those bikes up, and I would definitely target them as well. For Cauldron of Carnage, I would treat this encounter like a single target encounter until they butt heads, in which I would then stand in between both of the bosses, drop a D&D so you can cleave your strikes, and that position will also allow you to cleave your death coils. But also I would switch targets to the new boss just so you can ramp up some debuffs on it, so that when you do your full go with Raised Abomination and Unholy Assault, when they split up again, you've already got all of the buffs and all of the ramp done. On Rick Reverb, by targeting the barrels, you get a small haste buff, so not only is it good for execute, but also get a little bonus for targeting the ads. Alternatively, if Sand Lane just isn't pulling the numbers for you here, you can switch to Riders and play the Cleaving Mages build and still pull some good numbers, especially if you're able to cast some Sudden Doom procs when the barrels spawn. On Styx Bunk Junker, I would go for the Mythic Plus build here, as reduced Defile cooldown is very nice, and the passive Ad Cleave 2 is also really good. I would only use Epidemic when there are a lot of ads, like tons of ads. Otherwise, I would just focus on doing death coils and try and search out for some low health targets where you can get some execute death coils off as well. On Sprocketmonger, on Mythic, at 3 minutes you will have your Abomination back. However, if you do cast it at the 3 minute mark, your whole raid does need to move. This forces the boss away from your Abomination, and it's not very good for its damage. So what I would do is just try and delay your cast until you're into the new position and then do it, so you can have a full uninterrupted burst on the target. For One-Armed Bandit, search to cleave some execute death calls when the ads spawn, so definitely switch to those. On Mythic, using your cooldowns on cooldown means that they're up for the present ads. The little ads that look like presents, them ones, yeah. Try and bank some runic power for the ad waves, so you can utilise Epidemic death calls, and always make sure your death and decay is down, because spamming Vampiric Strike there, as well as weaving in some runic power spenders, is definitely a good thing. For Mugsy, 3 to 4 times in the fight, a Rocketeer ad will spawn, and it will instantly have execute range HP. This happens after the group soak mechanic. You want to position yourself in a way where you can dot, D&D, and Vamp Strike and Death Coil cleave, both the ad and the boss, as this greatly increases our damage. After the first Rocketeer spawn, you can pretty much line up your Dark Transformation with every other one that comes, and the Dark Transformation is a massive boost to our 2-target cleave, so I would definitely search to do this. Mugsy will spawn jails as well, and they roughly coincide with our Raised Abomination and Unholy Assault cooldowns. What you can do to avoid this is just delay it by 45 seconds, and this means that now they're misaligned and you shouldn't ever have to worry about getting a jail while in your burst. By delaying your Raised Abomination and Unholy Assault by 45 seconds as well, the next time the Rocketeer spawns, when we're taking advantage of all that free execute damage, you'll also have your big 1.5 minute burst rolling too. For Gallywix, on Heroic, when he does the AoE around him in his mech form, you can actually just soak that with a Death Advance and an AMS, so you won't have to move. Necrotic Aura also bugs out on this boss and doesn't really work, so it makes Super Strain pretty much the firm choice for this. I wouldn't really do anything funny with your cooldowns on Gallywix. I would pretty much just send them on cooldown. However, I would save Abomination Limb for the little lads so you can group them up, because by doing that, your group will be able to very quickly dispatch those ads. And that's my one tip for every raid encounter in the Liberation of Undermine raid to improve your DPS as an unholy DK. Let me know if any of these tips helped you. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Goodbye.